I was just waiting since the Lord Commissar was as well. Shout out to Slaneshi Cacophony, guys, straight away for reminding me to turn off the goddamn rain on this map. Wow, does the rain in Dawn of War 2 look awful? Don't know what that is all about. You know, even the water textures here, they look pretty decent. Obviously the, I don't know the technical word for it, but like the clipping against the edges, not the best, but that is like a problem in gaming in general. How the fuck do you get realistic sort of water clipping over? But anyway, look, the rain, awful. I've turned it off. Fear not. Hopefully this makes the video look a lot better on this map. I do apologise for that last video on this map. Man, it looked horrible when I uploaded that and watched the video back, but of course, I didn't bloody watch it back soon enough, and I'd already done the cast. Anyway, whatever. Onto the game. We've got Shroomer. It's actually Feg. Our old classic Feg. He's playing as a Lord Commissar up against good old Guru Skippy. He's going to play as the Audomalius Demon Hunter. So, probably the best option against IG, maybe. He's pretty shit in Tier 1, to be honest. But he gets better, and in Tier 2, he probably does have the best kit to deal with IG. But the early game's a bit of a struggle. You're relying heavily on your strike squad. The IST themselves are extremely vulnerable to the Commissar, who can bleed them so easily with that last pistol. Also the Sentinel as well. I suspect that's probably why Guru is blobbing most of his troops together around the strike squad. That will deter the Sentinel from just going in and getting free poke. Gonna be a pretty big win here for Guru if he can actually decap the power. I don't know that Feg should be allowing him to do this. Oh, actually, Feg has actually done the counter power decap, and he's gonna get that with a Sentinel. Like, I'm pretty sure he will. Yeah, he's got the Commissar here, he's got Guardsman coming. The Sentinel will be fine. This is well worth it. Now, he's already got the Stomp on the Sentinel, which is good because it protects him from the Strike Squad in retreat path. Strike Squad can be pretty scary for a Sentinel, because they actually do really good fire and the move damage. Ooh, nice plays, I like this. Strike Squad got into melee, so he retreats the Guardsman out. Gets a very lucky, it was lucky, special attack there with the Commissar, which prevents the Strike Squad from retargeting the Sentinel. And he, of course, executes the Guardsman to get them back into combat, so he only loses a couple of models. Obviously, if he kept them in melee with Strike Squad and tried to run away, they would have died really quickly. He'd have lost a lot more than 2 models. So now he's still got both the Guardsmen on the field. Sentinel is still being an annoying little prick. Not in a great position here though, encountering double IST when he doesn't have very high amounts of HP himself. Not ideal. Now the Guardsmen here are snared by the Rift Tear of the Demon Hunter, making them potentially an easy target for some IST frag grenades, but we might see a nice stomp here. Well, it was a stomp. I don't know if it was a nice one. The Sentinel really needs to get out of there. I mean, at this point, everything needs to leave. Poor Guardsman gets snared by the energy burst, and then a frag grenade goes into them. But thankfully, Seraf, or Shroomer, or Feg, I meant to be calling him Feg, does actually manage to retreat in time. But the pressure is relentless from Guru. He got his power point back, he's dropping 2 gens, and now he's doing the blob push against the power farm. So the Commissar's equipped the Carapace armor, that is his tanky melee hero armor. Gives him 200 extra max HP, but more importantly, it gives him 2.5 HP per second regen, which is pretty nice. So you turn your shield off, you start regenerating 2.5 HP per second with the energy, and then you've got natural 2.5 HP regen from the war gear. Very, very nice. You can see how tanky it makes him. It's a really impactful war gear. Very good in this matchup. Controlled the Strike Squad quite well there. Managed to force them off eventually. They didn't take any model losses, but that's fine. Not really meant to. They're going to be in base healing for a very long time now, so I think that's okay. Demon Hunter actually idling in mid. Yeah, he retreats out of there. Kind of caught out of position, no cover around, no supporting units. He's just going to get kited by the Sentinel. Not really a whole lot he can do there. So there is actually a VP lead at the moment for Feg, and he's going to be maintaining that. He's actually going to get a very strong VP lead by the looks of it, decapping the natural and fully capping be contested right now. He's already up 50 VPs, and that's going to be trickling even further into his favour as this game goes on. Not actually seen any tier 1.5 yet from Feg. I would suspect that he's going to get Kadashans for a few reasons. Now, firstly, we see triple IST from Guru Skippy, which means he doesn't have operatives, which means he can't detect. So the IEDs from the Kadashans could be very impactful here. Now, another reason why you want Kadashans, they control the Strike Squad and the Demon Hunter are both melee units. You get that explosive shot, stops them charging into melee and causing too much hassle. And then another reason to get Kadashans is you've got all these garrisons down here by the contested VP. Well, all reliable is going to do some really good damage into them. Plus you can set up IEDs near the entranceways. So Kadashans going down this side repeatedly would be quite nice. But honestly, it looks like Feg isn't doing that and he's just going to try and go for a fast tier 2. I don't know what the strategy there is. Yeah, it's a bit questionable. Because he's really floating a damn lot of requisition. Needs to prioritise trying to capture this power node and getting it noded, to be honest. I mean, really at this point he wants to cap that as soon as possible, node it and drop a 4th generator down on that side of the map. He's floating insane amounts of wreck. I mean, it's not a huge deal when you're floating wreck as IG because it just means you're going to get Stormtroopers in tier 2, right? Stormtroopers are never bad to have around.
We are under attack.
As it stands now, he's actually floating.
Sir, structures up.
Nice use of the deployable cover there from the guardsman.
Upgrade order received.
Prevents those IST even killing a single model, and the pressure just continues, man. Huge pressure from the IG here. It is difficult as Ordo Malleus because you lack the traditional setup team. It's a lot harder to lock off parts of the map. The Sentinel gets a lot more free reign because of it. It can be very tough to handle. Commissar's going to be pretty good here, though. Yeah, nice little execute. There's going to be a lot of bleed from the IST. Honestly, Guru should just be retreating these troops. I don't know what he's doing. He must have been watching. Wow. Yeah, that was pretty damn close. In fact, these IST might still go down. Commissar isn't actually shooting his pistol, which is causing problems. Wow, they get out with 25 HP. If that Commissar got a single swing on that model before they got away, then yeah, that'd have been a wipe squad. Wow. Guru goes tier 2. He actually lost an IST squad somewhere. Where did he lose the IST squad? Am I blind? Where did Guru lose the IST squad?
Sir,
I don't know.
Upgrade complete.
Oh, down here. How did he die there? I swear the Sentinel... Did the Sentinel really chase him all the way there and kill him? Wow. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, the Grey Knight Dreadnought is the unit of choice here. I assume it's going to get the Plasma Cannon. Usually you want range superiority against IG. Plasma Cannon and the Hurricane Bolter will certainly do a lot of scary things to these Guardsman mobs, but it will be pretty damn ineffective against Ogrins. So it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, we see the Plasma Cannon already coming out. Now the interesting thing with the Plasma Cannon Grey Knight Dreadnought is it doesn't have a melee weapon. It is a Plasma Cannon and a Hurricane Bolter. This thing has no melee weaponry. So and it also has an additional feature where if you melee it, it can't shoot at all. It's not like a zone throw. Zone throw-ups are different. You can melee zone throw-ups and they'll still just shoot at other things that are further away. If you melee the Grey Knight Plasma Cannon Dreadnought, it can't shoot. So this is going to be very scary for these Ogrins.
So the generator is online.
Yeah, it has to back off.
Top priority. Understood.
See some mines coming down. I don't think they're going to arm in time. Guru's not a fool, so he moves out of the way of the line where the mines would have deposited anyway. Energy Burst comes down from the Strike Squad. Ooh, Psychic Fortress, I like that usage. So that is draining the energy of the Ogrins, irrelevant because they don't have energy, but it also snares units near to the Strike Squad. So you can see the Ogrins have their speed debuffed because of this ability, and it means that they can't keep pace with the Grey Knight Dreadnought. Facilitates a nice escape for them. Nice little use of Psychic Fortress there, you don't see it very often. Of course, the Rift Tear probably would have done a similar job without actually costing red, but there you go. Frag Missile Launcher comes down on the Sentinel. We'll see how that does. Baits out the Stomp, a little bit of domino knockback there, doing some scary damage, and wow. See some Melter Stormtroopers as well. Melter Guns are spooky, man. Doesn't matter if you're a Grey Knight or a Guardsman, Melter Guns are going to melt you. That is what Melter Guns do. So yeah, tie them fuckers up in melee really quickly, because they will kill you very fast. But the Ogryns come back out. They're gonna scare off the Strike Squad. They don't want anything to do with that. And honestly, Guru's in a bit of a tricky position right now. He's actually purchased Operatives who, I don't know, they're not a great choice. But they give him Detection for the Stormtroopers, which is I'm sure what he wants them for. I just don't know if this Plasma Cannon Dreadnought's great. Psychic Assailment coming down on the Operatives, that is the global ability of the Demon Hunter, improves the range and the range damage of a nearby troop. Well, it doesn't have to be nearby, just any one troop that you select. We see that the Demon Hunter is being equipped with the Force Glaive, 71 DPS power melee weapon. So pretty good DPS, but the problem is he has no armor upgrades, so he's still pretty fragile, only 750 HP. It's better than a lot of heroes in Tier 1 in terms of tankiness, but against a fully upgraded Ogryn squad, that's not going to last for long, especially when they can knock you around with their use their head. Well, the ability is use your head, but it's their heads. All four of them, all these heads.
We have an edge for now.
Now that Force Glaive does give Guru Skippy's Demon Hunter the Inferno ability, which essentially is on-demand AoE knockback around the Demon Hunter. So he can use that defensively to either protect his Dreadnought when the melee units swamp onto it, or just to protect himself if he gets knocked over before he retreats. He can knock the enemies away with that Inferno and then retreat out safely. Now you see he's got the Armour of Fortitude. That is basically the tanky melee armour for the Demon Hunter. So not quite as good statistically as the Commissar's one. Wow, he's swapped out to buy... Whoa, we've got a complete Wargear swap. Okay. Right. Sentinel goes down due to a combination of the Plasma Cannon and the Psychic Assailment onto the Operatives, which come out of Infiltration. Now we're going to see a Rift Tear trying to snare the Ogryns, but it kind of misses. Not ideal, and we're getting some huge damage coming down now. We've got Bionic Eye Execution used on the Stormtroopers, and it is going to lead to their death. Maybe. Yes, it does. Now what's going on here? We've got Ogryns in melee with the Strike Squad. They're actually beating up the Strike Squad pretty hard. They're getting healed because of the Aura of Discipline from the Lord Commissar. Feg is really good at using this Aura of Discipline. The Ogryns have slipped through and they're now chasing down that Dreadnought. Probably going to wipe it out, honestly. It's going to be pretty close before it can get into base. Ooh, I don't know if it's getting away. This is super close. Come on, base turrets, you need to save the day. It is so low, 2 HP, and they get it. They managed to take out that Plasma Cannon Dreadnought. Wow. Oh my god. How did Feg lose all the rest of his shit? So he lost the Sentinel there, he executed the Stormtroopers with a Bionic Eye, so they couldn't retreat, and they just managed to get... Well, they were just starting the retreat when the Plasma Cannon Dreadnought shot them to death and wiped them out. The Guardsman down here, the Demon Hunter must have just beat them in melee with Inferno and that. Obviously, Feg lost track of them. He was focusing on microing his Ogryns and trying to secure that kill. So this Guardsman squad got wiped out by the Demon Hunter. And what else did he have? That's it. Yeah, that's the 3 losses. Melter Stormtroopers, Sentinel, Guardsman. And in contrast, Guru lost his Plasma Cannon Dreadnought. So the Demon Hunter's caught in a bit of a dodgy situation here. He's going to activate his Stasis ability, which he gets from the Armour of Fortitude. Lets him temporarily warp into another realm so that he can neither deliver nor take any damage. And you see that ability, I would argue, and I think most people would argue, is a very good ability. It's better than the ability that you get with the Carapace Armour, which is simply cheaper energy cost on your execute and faster cooldown. And that's why the Carapace Armour has the extra HP regen stats compared to the Fortitude armor, because the ability on the armor of Fortitude is better. Anyway.
We are under attack.
So, full war gear change for the Lord Commissar. So, he's got the Aura of Discipline. This is a heal that gets stronger the fewer units are around him. Or rather, the heal gets weaker the more units are around him. By default, it's very strong heal. But yeah, it gets weaker if there are too many troops around him. So ideally, the Commissar wants to be running around just with the Ogryns, because the heal is a percentage-based heal. So each proc of the heal will give you a lot more value if you have really tanky units like Ogryns compared to Guardsmen. He's also got the Power Claw, which gives him an 84.62 heavy melee DPS weapon. So a very powerful melee tool. And then he also had that Bionic Eye at one point. Okay, we see the Psychic Fortress coming down again, trying to delay these Ogryns. Ogryns, honestly, pretty damn fast. See the Demon Hunter running into combat there with the Inferno activated, knocking back the Ogryns, and Strike Squad actually getting a pretty nice special attack there. What's going on now? Oh, the Strike Squad have gone into stasis to avoid taking the damage from the Stormtroopers. Demon Hunter's going to try and tie them up in melee and get a little bit of bleed. Stormtroopers are a bit of a nightmare to fight, constantly infiltrating in and out and doing such really good burst damage. But if you can bleed their models, they are quite expensive to reinforce given how fragile their models actually are. But they have a long range and a really powerful amount of burst damage, so it can be quite difficult to bleed their models. You see, even with the damage resistance here from the IST because of the Acolyte, they're still taking huge amounts of damage from these Stormtroopers. It's not a very good engagement for them. Operatives will bleed like shit to Stormtroopers. Commissar needs to be careful, yeah, with the Strike Squad closing in. That could be quite dangerous for him. Strike Squad are a lot better at tanking the damage, of course, because they're heavy infantry. Ooh, the operatives! God. It's another dead operative. Strike Squad does get in. Should be able to kill a Stormtrooper here. Yeah. Now these guys are going to get bowled over. There is a garrison nearby. Strike Squad at this point can just shoot them to death with the Storm Bolters, though. Should definitely be prioritising the Stormtroopers just because Stormtroopers are more expensive and they do more damage. Alright, looks like there's going to be... Okay, there's not going to be another big fight here. He's just trying to disengage. Makes sense, the Strike Squad are a bit too low at this point. They don't really want this fight. Really needed to try and force off those Stormtroopers, really. Okay, so the Great Knight Dreadnought is out once again. It's got its Inferno Cannon at the moment, but it's actually upgrading already to the Fist, which has now been cancelled. There isn't really any crazy AV on the field anymore. Both these Stormtroopers are assault kits, so they no longer can get the melter guns, so the only AV is the Ogryns. So in theory, a melee Dreadnought would be quite the force to reckon with. I suspect that Guru actually wants to try and get a bash with the Inferno Cannon for now though. Maybe, I don't know. He's walking in a weird direction. Does bash very quickly. Feg knows that he's got a problem here if this thing gets the melee upgrade, so he's actually getting a heavy weapons team and immediately getting a las cannon. So a really hard dedicated counter to the Dreadnought here. Guru's playing it safe, which is fair enough. He doesn't know what's out here, and pushing his Dreadnought up to bash these gens right now would be potentially disastrous. Gets snared by the las cannon, could even get an executed las cannon, do double damage, and then the Ogryns come running in. The Dreadnought could die very quickly. Now he should be able to see that las cannon now moving down here. Of course he's seeing the Commissar running along down the side of his flank, so he pulls back the Dreadnought. Needs to be very careful here. Dreadnought's really far forward. Nothing is tying up the heavy weapons team. The heavy weapons team does have its Sarge there, so it's got the refractor shield, so you can't even knock it over. It doesn't matter. The Strike Squad are going to get into melee. Ogryns are kind of ripping apart the Order Malleus backline though. All the Stormtroopers and Inquisitorial troops need to get the hell out of there. And the problem now with the Dreadnought is it's still got its Inferno Cannon. It hasn't got the melee upgrade, so it doesn't actually have melee resist right now. I think it only gets 20% melee resist, or maybe it doesn't even have that, but It's okay, it survives. There's enough support here with the Demon Hunter and then the Strike Squad still being there. Yeah, the Ogryns are going to be healing for quite a while, but the good thing is the Aura of Discipline's still around, so that will help heal up the Ogryns a lot faster. On the other hand, the Strike Squad are very, very low on HP. Especially considering they're 4 models. But they do have pretty good innate HP regen. Guardsmen aren't going to pose a problem for them. Strike Squad have done amazing. You've got to admit. Look at that, instantly killing 4 Guardsman models, getting more XP, killing 5 of them. Demon Hunter's kind of come to his own now in Tier 2. He's been really good at controlling these Ogryns. Man, he doesn't want to... I don't know what this is. Yeah, that was a mistake. Bit of a micro mistake there from Guru. Yeah, he's not happy about that. Because the thing is, he's bleeding like crazy because these goddamn Stormtroopers, they're so annoying to fight. Because you just can't catch them. They've got above average movement speed, and they do all their damage in range so quickly, and then they run away, and then they infiltrate, and you're like, oh, where the hell are they? Just look at the pressure they put on. It's terrifying.
We're losing a requisition point.
Really been hurting the economy of Guru, so the last thing he wanted was to then have to pay another 250 requisition to get his hero back. And he kind of does need that Demon Hunter to control these Ogryns. Ogryns level 3 now. Very scary. Especially with the potential of Bionic Eye here, healing them up when they get to like half HP back to full in the middle of combat. Doubling their damage, increasing their speed, making them immune to suppression. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I'm really quite shocked that Guru hasn't got the melee upgrade yet on his Ogryns. Sorry, on the Dreadnought. To deal with these Ogryns, because this sort of thing is the problem. So we've got an executed las cannon. You can see how much damage the las cannon did there just from 2 shots. Took off like a third of the Dreadnought's HP, and then the Ogryns just move in to clean up shop. Unfortunately, there's not a huge amount of support here for the Ogryns at the moment. They're kind of pushing into the base of Guru. I mean, they're winning, and they're getting healed by the Aura of Discipline. Man, the Strike Squad got their ass kicked as well. Great heals from the Lord Commissar. I mean, this is a dominant performance from Feg right now. VPs are relatively even, but obviously the map control is really dominant for Feg.
You know we're ready.
Feg at this point is in Tier 3 as well. Kind of surprised that we're not seeing some Casa King coming out. I feel like he's got enough AV to deal with the Dreadnought, but I guess on the other hand, Guru doesn't really have any AV himself, so if Feg gets a Lehman Russ out now, it's going to be happy days for him. Ooh, bit of a miss micro here though. I don't think he realised that the Dreadnought has the melee upgrade. Commissar moves way too far forward and actually gets skewered by the terrifying Force Halberd of that Grey Knight Dreadnought. Alright, Operatives going down the side, but they're super fragile at this point. They took too much damage from the Stormtroopers. Yeah, so they just retreat out of there. But the Stormtroopers will be able to take over and capture this part of the map.
The requisition point's in trouble.
Demon Hunter straight onto the point. It's got the Liber Malleus, the Liber Malleus. So if he activates that ability, Sundering, when the Demon Hunter goes into melee with the Ogryns, it will reduce their melee damage resistance by 35%, which then makes the Strike Squad do way more damage. But Feg is actually going for a Stormlord. Interesting. Not actually seen this thing in action yet. We'll see how it does. So it's a Baneblade chassis super vehicle, but it forgoes the mainline battle cannon that the Baneblade has in order to get transport capacity space. So you can put your troops in it, and just like the Land Raider, any troops inside it will heal, and you can reinforce off of it just like the Land Raider. But unlike the Land Raider, it doesn't give a HP regen aura, and you can't retreat to it. So it's not as good as the Land Raider in that regard, But its guns are better than the Land Raider though, because it still has the Baneblade's las cannons, it still has the Baneblade's heavy bolters, and it gets something called a Vulcan bolter on the front, which is basically like the Space Marine assault cannon, except it does inferno damage, not piercing. So it just melts any infantry. But it can't do much against vehicles though, so the problem I see right now is that there's still not really anything to do with this bloody Grey Knight Dreadnought. At some point, Feg actually lost his las cannon as well. I don't know when that happened. I seen it fighting down here, but I thought it retreated quick enough. No, somehow it died, so the problem I'm seeing right now is that nothing can kill the Dreadnought, and this Stormlord is moving up here, but it only has the las cannons that can do really anything to the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought's going to cause a lot of... yeah, so the Stormlord turns around its heavy ass and drives the fuck away because it doesn't want to tangle with this Dreadnought. He doesn't even know there's operatives here which have melter bombs to snare it as well. So yeah, Feg needs to get some AV really quickly. This is actually looking pretty bad for him because he's only on 59 VPs. He should not have gone for a Stormlord. This is a trolley move. A Lehman Russ would have been perfectly sufficient. And ironically, the Lehman Russ would have done far better with dealing with the main threat right now, which is that Grey Knight Dreadnought. You can see the anti-infantry firepower of this bloody Stormlord is insane. Oh my god, that Terminator Librarian is getting melted by that Vulcan Bolter. Absolutely melted. Should be able to kill the Terminator Librarian in retreat here. Don't know if Feg is even focusing on it. He's probably a little bit more frightened with this engagement on the side here. Now he misses the opportunity. So the Dreadnought is chasing down the Stormlord and putting a lot of damage. The las cannons are doing a little bit back to the Dreadnought, but not a crazy amount. Now the Ogryns on this side seem to be holding up pretty well against the Strike Squad because they're getting the heals constantly from the Aura of Discipline, so the Strike Squad really can't compete, even with the Demon Hunter there. Oh wow. Don't know if the Demon Hunter had used Sundering in that instance. VP's getting really scarily low for Feg though. Guardsman coming over here. Yeah, the Demon Hunter had caught that top VP is natural. So he's decapped down here, but now the Terminator Librarian is getting onto the cap. Man, imagine if he actually had killed that Terminator Librarian. Bit of a micro fuck up there from Feg. He just needs to take his Commissar and his Ogryns and get the hell on that Terminator Librarian. Kill that motherfucker. Stormlord at this point isn't even being microed. It is actually 1v1 in the Dreadnought, which I'm quite surprised about. This is a testament to how powerful the Baneblade chassis vehicles are. Those las cannons really putting a hurt onto this goddamn thing. Jeez, look at it go.
It's ours, sir.
Wow. Does manage to take out the Grey Knight Dreadnought. That is impressive. But I mean, it really does lose a lot of HP doing that. And the Ogryns kind of overstayed their welcome here. They were obviously very injured from the prior fight, so the Demon Hunter comes out with all of the operatives and the IST with their plasma guns, put on a lot of pain, and the Lord Commissar as well is kind of just left idling. I mean, this is just a VP game right now, so the Stormlord's coming out. There are some Guardsmen here, but he needs to get onto the VPs. I don't really know what he's doing right now. Okay, well he should have enough time. So long as nothing comes and decaps this, and IST are on the way to do it. There are a bunch of mines that drop down here, which will hopefully delay the cap, buy him a bit of time, which is something. But this Stormlord needs to get moving and park itself up here, so at least this area is protected. I mean, in theory, if you have your full army here with the Stormlord nearby to provide a reinforcement, that's going to be pretty hard to push off. That's all the Feg needs to do at this point, but he really needs to get onto the damn VPs. Oh my god, he's sending out a single Ogryn. Oh, I don't know about this. These IST have plasma guns, so they actually can do some pretty good damage to him.
Roger, sir.
Nice disruption there using the plasma overcharge and the frag grenade. The thing is, they can just go inside the garrison and the Ogryn can't do anything. Oh, this is a terrible throw indeed. Okay, it's fine. He's getting both of the VPs up here. He's got his Stormlord, which is getting repaired by the Guardsmen. He could even start dropping down bunkers. Probably doesn't need to. That's probably over the top. Just drop some more mines. Just drop some more mines. All he needs to do is hold these two VPs. What has Guru got right now? Guru's got Purifiers. Okay.
Is that it, sir?
But they don't kill Stormlords and Lehman Russes. But I guess the problem for Feg is that there's a lot of just tanky shit coming out right now. Terminator Librarian, Purifiers, Level 4 Strike Squad. All that Guru needs to do is to get on the point because he's now captured this side because Feg made the silly decision of sending a lone Ogrin model down there. So Frag Grenade comes in from the Stormtroopers to delay the cap from the Strike Squad. Stormlord needs to turn the hell around and focus on the Strike Squad. What is he doing? Oh my god, no. The operatives managed to somehow get out with two models infiltrated, and I think Feg hasn't noticed. He hasn't noticed. He's not moving anything to disrupt them. He thinks he's got it because he's forced off their troops here, but he doesn't realise that the operatives has decapped his natural VP, so it is now a 1-0 cap in favour of Guru Skippy, and Feg is losing his VPs very quickly. He's going to get the cap down at the bottom, but nothing is going to stop the operatives. Or can the Lehman Russ do it? It's firing its heavy bolters. No, it's too slow. The operatives sacrifice their life in the name of the Emperor, but they get the cap, and that is going to be the game ended in favour of Guru Skippy, who honestly at this point basically has no army left. What a throw by Feg. Honestly, I was bloody impressed with the Stormlord. I thought that Grey Knight Dreadnought was going to solo it. It looks like the Stormlord actually has higher rate of fire in his las cannons than the traditional Baneblade, so it's not as weak against vehicles as I thought it was. Still, it did lose about 70% of its HP because it's really not designed to be soloing Dreadnoughts. The Baneblade would be better at that. Or, you know, a Lehman Russ, which would have come out earlier and could kite the Dreadnought easier because it's way quicker than the super heavy vehicles. Obviously he should have got a Lehman Russ earlier, but the vital error that he made after getting the I was nearly going to say Swarmlord, after getting the Stormlord, was sending the poor Ogrins down to this VP with only one model. Not a great choice. I mean, what can they defend against with one model? Because Ogrins don't have any anti-garrison, and there's 4 garrisons here. So it was always going to be possible that anything that tries to contest this could get in the garrison. So you might as well just have 4 models, and then they're really tanky, and it'd take them a damn long time to kill the Ogrins, and that's delay them from capping the point, because obviously they can't cap while the Ogrins are there. Anyway, shit happens. That was a game. I hope you enjoyed it, folks. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like down below, and a comment to help me out in that YouTube algorithm war. Thank you for tuning in. That is all from your boy Torpid, signing out.